I am gonna share with you why some people go through all the effort of doing intermittent fasting or periodic prolonged fasting or eating very low carb and they do and get the results that they want. And it's unfortunate because they think something's wrong with them. They think they have some genetic problem. Maybe there's something wrong with their thyroid. But 99% of the time, it comes down to this one thing. Now, before we get into that, if you're new here, I would love to have you stay tuned for more videos like this one. So let's dive right in. Why do some people do fasting and keto and low carb and they don't lose weight? It's because they're still eating too many carbs. Now, I'm not talking about the carbs that they're having with their meals. I'm talking about the snacks that they're having between meals. So, for example, someone might say, hey, I did intermittent fasting today. I ate one meal and I had a bunch of nuts. And by the way, I didn't eat anything after my meal until the next day. Sounds great, except for one thing. Nuts are loaded with sugar. If you just take a look at the amount of carbohydrates in a serving of nuts, it's crazy. Some nuts are even worse than others. For example, cashews have 21 grams of carbs per serving. Almonds have 6 grams of carbs. But what is a serving? A serving is 1 ounce. How many of you out there are going to weigh out 1 ounce of almonds or cashews or walnuts or pistachios? Not many of us. We gonna eyeball it, and most of us are gonna have way more than a serving. So if you're having nuts thinking that you're redoing something that is not gonna raise your blood sugar, you'd be wrong. Another thing that you might do is you might do intermittent fasting where you just have 1 meal a day and maybe you have some fruit with that meal. Well, fruit is just loaded with sugar, so even though you're only having 1 meal a day, if that meal has fruit in it, you're gonna be raising your blood sugar. Or maybe you don't have fruit, you don't have nuts, but you have some crackers with your meal. Well, crackers are just loaded with carbs, so even if you don't have nuts, fruit, or crackers, maybe you're having bread. So again, just make sure when you're doing intermittent fasting or keto or low carb, make sure you're not having those snacks in between meals that are loaded with carbs because it doesn't matter how many times per week you do intermittent fasting. It doesn't matter how disciplined you are. If you're still eating too many carbs, you're never gonna get the results that you want. Now, unfortunately, the way our society is set up, it's really hard to do intermittent fasting correctly, especially if you're working and you're busy and you don't have time to prepare your food. You're gonna be tempted to do what's easy. It's gonna be easier for you to grab a snack that's high in carbs versus something that's lower in carbs, so I completely understand that. I do my best to try to help you out by giving you ideas of snacks that are lower in carbs so that you can tide you over during those difficult times. For example, hard-boiled eggs are a great snack. If you have a hard-boiled egg, you could have 2 eggs, 3 eggs, 4 eggs, 5 eggs. I mean, you can have as many eggs as you want. It's better to space out your meals so that you're not getting too hungry so that you don't binge. But if you do get hungry, hard-boiled eggs are a great snack. Olives are a great snack. Pickles are a great snack. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and they'll tide you over. Even though I know pickles have carbs, when you look at the amount of carbs per serving, and you look at how many pickles it would take for you to get to that amount of carbs, it's probably not going to be a big impact. But things like nuts are going to be a huge impact if you're trying to do intermittent fasting and you want to lose weight. Just avoid the nuts. Okay, avoid the nut butter. Now, I'm curious. Did anyone watching this video have a snack in the last 24 hours that was high in carbs? Please put that in the comments because I'm curious, and if you are, please stop. If you're doing intermittent fasting and you're not losing weight, it could be the reason. So, if you're enjoying my content, which I hope you are, and you're applying this knowledge to your health and you have a success, I would really appreciate you sharing your success story. So click the link down below where you can upload your success stories so you can help inspire others.